What's good, everybody? This camera? I don't know. I'm kind of feeling this aesthetic, man. Like I got the lamp off to the side at a 40-degree angle, so the way it's hitting me, I don't know. Anyway, Eco Austin here. Welcome to the channel. Just trying to feed one person at a time. Long time no see. So, I just put out a video. Make sure you guys watch that. It's how to make the best, most fire oatmeal you possibly can. It's being uploaded as we speak, so calm down, guys. It's about to be out, and I promise you, if you do what I did in that video, the oatmeal will change your life. But anyway, so as it's getting colder out, as I'm feeling the draft from outside, as it's time to put on a jacket, a scarf, etc., I figured it would be really smart to, really bring up what are the best foods to eat during this autumn season. It's October now, and don't get me wrong, a lot of the foods that we think about for fall ends up being Thanksgiving food. But remember, you can eat those things whenever you want. If anything, it's time to, stock up on those things before it becomes such a crazy Black Friday type rush at the grocery store. So without further ado, let me run down my list of my top 15 items to go ahead and make fresh out of the grocery store into your kitchen. Number 1, spaghetti squash. Down. Spaghetti squash really isn't anything crazy, nothing too complicated. It's literally, think of spaghetti, but instead of spaghetti noodles, you use, this butternut squash. It's stringy quality to, mimic noodles. Now, not only is that extremely healthy for you, but it gives you a different flavor profile. Not only does it give you a different flavor profile, but you get to flex a little bit. Like, yeah, this is my spaghetti squash. It's something that not everybody has heard of, not everybody has tasted. So it's definitely something that you can, take to the next level and expand your palate. Number 2, caramel apples. Everybody wants to bob for apples. Everybody knows about caramel apples, but how many people actually make them at home? I'm sure there's some that do, but I know of caramel apples by going to the store and seeing them in that hard plastic container that when you try to open it, you have the potential of cutting yourself. All you gotta do, man, is get some nice apples, maybe some Gala, or I don't know, maybe switch it up and do Granny Smith. But go ahead, make some caramel at home. Don't be intimidated. It's real simple and easy. And just take your apples with a stick, a skewer, just dip them in there, pull it out, let them dry, and you're done. And then you could add nuts on there if you would like. It's simple as that. It elevates a party. It elevates, how your dining room table looks. You can use it as a display piece. It's just something that reminds me of fall. Number 3, I hate to admit it, but pumpkin spice lattes are still slept on, in my opinion. Pumpkin spice lattes seem to have come out of nowhere. Like, I thought they were trendy, but they're not going anywhere at all. Like, yes, you can get them at Starbucks, but listen, just do your research on how to make an at-home latte. I'm not saying buy a whole cappuccino machine. I'm just saying you can do a lot with very simple tricks at home. Okay? Go ahead and get your whipped cream. Go ahead and get your, pumpkin spice flavoring. Maybe make coffee like normal and add cinnamon, nutmeg, etc. like that. And then from there, you can definitely develop, that flavor profile. So save yourself a bit of money instead of paying, $12 for a venti pumpkin spice latte because it's the holiday season at Starbucks, okay? So, with that being said, I'm trying to help you guys find something for the holidays, but also, save some money. 1 second. Commercials. Yeah, so moving on. Number 4, beef stew. Beef stew has come in clutch for a lot of situations for me. So beef stew is, something you can do at home with just a pot and just time. But listen, pay $29.95 and get yourself a crock pot. I don't own a crock pot right now, but I want one. It saves so much time. It saves so much effort. Just chop up your little beef, add some carrots, celery, onion. Maybe you make a roux. Maybe you put in some beef stock in there, and you just let it sit. Stir it every couple hours, and by the time it's dinner time, it's a feast. Because all you need at that point is maybe a dinner roll to complement the sauce that goes with it. We're not trying to make mole here. We're trying to make a simple beef stew. So if you have children and you want something that stretches because you paid a decent amount of money for it, go ahead and opt for beef stew. Go ahead and get yourself a crock pot if you don't have one already. And if you don't, I'm telling you, it's so easy. A caveman could do it. Next up, number 5. Either roasted or toasted pumpkin seeds. Okay, so growing up, I remember specifically going to Brzezinski's farm somewhere in Wisconsin, I don't know, and wanting to get a pumpkin, not because, pumpkin pie, I don't really care for that, but because of the pumpkin seeds. Because when we went home and we made jack-o'-lanterns and we cleaned it out, we saved all the seeds, cleaned them, put them on a sheet tray, a little bit of salt, and toasted them. And even as a kid, I'm like, oh my God, forget about sunflower seeds. I'm trying to have some toasted pumpkin seeds for the rest of my life. So it's a great snack. You don't have to pay extra money for it if you're already getting a pumpkin. Just don't throw them away. Just clean them, a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of honey if you want to be fancy, and go from there. You got a snack for days, because those easily come with thousands and thousands and thousands of seeds. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. Number 6, Brussels sprouts. At the restaurant I work at right now, Brussels sprouts is on the menu 24/7, no matter what. However, seasonally speaking, you can easily complement roasted Brussels sprouts, put a little honey on there, with that spaghetti squash I was talking about, or anything in the squash family. Like, it goes amazingly well with pumpkin, with a gourd, with butternut, with all of these different flavor profiles. Brussels sprouts are tasty, they're super healthy, and it gives you something else other than rice, other than potatoes, to fill you up. And if you're not a fan of broccoli, I promise you Brussels sprouts is like your best friend then. Number 7, now, I'm not trying to be controversial, but a hot toddy. Bruh, if you like apple cider, you will like a hot toddy. Now, me growing up, being the ethnicity that I am, I remember that hot toddy was a grown-up drink for when you're sick. It took me until I was, 22 to realize that you can drink that anytime, especially for the holidays, like apple cider, some type of alcohol, typically like something dark, and then just put a cinnamon stick in there with maybe an orange slice or a lemon slice, and there you go. Delicious. And if you're into Bloody Marys, get a hot toddy. I should put an asterisk by it that, yes, it is an alcoholic drink, but that should speak for itself. Don't try this at home, kids. Make a virgin version of a hot toddy. Just get apple cider and put a cinnamon stick in it. Next up, pumpkin or sweet potato pie. I said or for a reason, okay? I can eat pumpkin pie. It's decent, but I'm not a huge fan of it. If I had to choose, I would choose sweet potato pie every single time. Now, that's just a debatable opinion. I know plenty of people who hate sweet potato pie and love pumpkin pie. I'm saying, though, if you're at a dinner table and dessert is about to be served, you can't have both. You have to pick your side. You have to pick your side of the aisle, because I swear if I go to your house and you have both, I'm fighting you just for even creating the controversy. So go ahead and make one of the simplest pies, but also the most delicious pie out there. Next up, baked macaroni and cheese. I'm trying to tell you, man. I've had some fantastic baked macaroni and cheese in my day. You can't go wrong with it. Do you know how big of a company Kraft is, or that Velveeta is? If you don't buy some noodles yourself, some cheese yourself, and make some macaroni and cheese that's way better than the box, I don't even need to say anymore. Next up, apple pie, the most classic Midwestern pie in history. Maybe in America as a whole, but listen, you can't go wrong with apple pie. I still haven't met anyone that does not like apple pie. I prefer using green apples, Granny Smith with the skin on. But, think of how many apples are out there that you can use for your pie. Don't listen to those people like, oh, this is better for baking, this is better for cooking. Like, no, use whatever apple you like. Whatever apple you taste by itself will, you'll end up liking the pie. Next up, I already talked about this, but I need to reiterate. Apple cider at home is very, very simple. All you need to do, if you don't want to go to the store, like I said, if you want to save some money, create gallons and gallons of it, just get yourself some mason jars. Store it for later. Apple cider can be served cold or hot, so it gives you some type of variety. It gives you something else to sip on in the morning other than tea or other than your coffee. It can even be something that you add to your tea that can just elevate it for the season. So that's just something, in there for people who love to sip on something throughout the day. And hey, you can easily add alcohol to it to make it that hot toddy. Next up, homemade hot chocolate. Okay, hot chocolate is another thing that people love to buy the instant version, but making it at home is super simple. All you need is heavy cream, whole milk, or maybe like a nut milk such as almond milk or cashew milk. But then from there, you just need to get, chocolate, melt that down, temper it with the milk, very slow stir at like a low heat. And then from there, you literally keep it stirring, keep it going until it's to your liking. And then, you could add your whipped cream. You already have the heavy cream, so you can make whipped cream, put some powdered sugar, a little bit of cocoa powder on there, and there you go. I'm telling you, there's so many things that's so much better because you made it at home. It's much cheaper because you made it at home. Next up, mashed potatoes. I dare any one of you to buy boxed mashed potatoes. What's wrong with you? If you don't go to the store, get some potatoes and boil them and mash them up. And see, what I like to do is I like to add garlic, butter, and herbs to mine, splash of milk, and it's, what I like to say, delectable. Next up, I know a lot of people that love this next up on the menu, and it's not even seasonal, but it reminds me of cold weather, that being fresh tomato soup with grilled cheese on the side. Now, it's been forever since I had this combination, but let me tell you, it's fantastic. So, tomato soup, super simple. You get your tomatoes, right? Put in a pot, let them cook. Tomatoes are already highly acidic and they are, fragile. So you're just pureeing tomatoes, adding the salt, adding the seasonings, maybe some chili flakes to give it that heat. Doing all that stuff is going to make it into a soup. You add your broth maybe, just to elevate that soup. And everybody knows grilled cheese is just 2 slices of bread and some cheese. You can make it fancy by adding different cheeses, different layers, adding meat, adding some type of veggie quality to it, maybe some type of nut to it. But all you do is, when both are done, you take your grilled cheese, rip it apart, dip it in the tomato soup, and finish with the tomato soup. I'm not trying to give you instructions on something so simple, I'm just saying That's one of the cheapest but most delicious things I can think of. And it reminds me of coming home after having a snowball fight at home. Not at home, outside. And, you know, taking off my coat, nose red. And from there, just enjoying life. Putting on Ed, Ed, and Eddie or Pokemon or something. All while enjoying your tomato soup and grilled cheese. And last but not least, apples. Apples are all over this list because they're so versatile. You can get them any time of the year, but during the fall, that's like their peak production when it comes to these, apple orchards. Okay? Now, you can easily make a cider out of it. You can easily make a pie out of it. But I'm saying, to be healthy, go ahead and eat an apple straight up. Like, I really see no problem in it. Like, I wanted to end the video with talking about apples because I feel like not enough people buy them. Like, it's only surviving off the people who love apples, and they're not really respected as a great fruit. Not for their vitamin A, not for their, their starchy qualities that fill you up. It's natural sugars where you don't even have to add anything to it for it to taste good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this list. This was just kind of basically a discussion with you guys as well. So, I want you guys to comment, about maybe there's something that you cook or that you bake only during the fall and winter season. I want to know. I'm honestly curious because all I know is Midwestern cuisine. So I really want to get to know with, what's in your household. If you're from the South, let me know. What's something in the fall that you guys do? Or if you're from Cali, let me know what you guys do. If you're in Maine, let me know what you guys do. I'm very interested in these answers. So with that being said, sweet potato pie is the greatest pie on earth, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.